We're going to start out with our first guest. Her name is Nancy Byrel. She's the founder and director of Peaceful Acres Horses. You're going to see some pretty interesting images today during her segment. So let's take it away, Nancy. Hi, Nancy.
Hi,
good to see you. You've been on before.
Been on
before.
It's been
a while, yeah.
And a lot has changed since I was on the
goodness.
show before. So
And tell me, what's going on up there?
Well,
You're in Pattersonville, right?
We're in Pattersonville, and we rescue horses, and the horses rescue people, and the people rescue them, and it's just a really wonderful, beautiful place to be.
And what got you started with this?
You know, I was going through my own life transitions, and life was not easy, and my horses, I say, saved my life. So as a social worker, I wanted to delve into that a little bit more and see what was happening.
And you found a niche.
And I found a niche. And I started out at SUNY Albany and went there for a year, and I reached out to Adelphi University and was accepted into their master's program, and did that for 3 years, and got out in 2007, and Nixon Peabody picked us up as a pro bono client, and you know, the rest is
history.
The rest is starting a not-for-profit organization in 2008, and who would have ever thought that would have been possible?
And here you've got, but I know I don't want to take too much. I want to show these photos.
Yeah, I want to see the pictures.
The story will evolve as you show these photos.
They will.
Yeah.
They will.
So let's take a look at some of these photos.
So this guy's name is Waz. He was actually in a kill pen in New Jersey, and myself and another staff person at Peaceful Acres went down to get Waz and also one other draft horse. They were in a kill pen. They were going to be shipped to slaughter in Canada the following day. This horse was named Waz after Steve Wozniak, because when Steve found out what we do, he gave us the bail money actually to pull him out of the kill pen. So that's Waz. Now if we can just get Steve Wozniak to come to Peaceful Acres, that would be great. Hint, hint. So this is another one of the horses. We named her Dixie because when we got in the truck to head home, we immediately turned on the Dixie Chicks because we needed something to make us feel really good. But it wasn't just Waz and Dixie that came home. Another draft horse came home with us as well. And she has already been adopted. Now these horses, Waz was in really bad body condition. He had scars from harnesses. He was an Amish workhorse, and oftentimes those Amish workhorses end up in kill pens. They're used to work as long as they can work, and then they pick up new stock, and they end up, you know, being
so they don't have
slaughtered.
like an area where they kind of keep them, you know, as in retirement.
No, you know, our horses cost us $32 a day. So retirement for horses is not inexpensive. Thoroughbreds oftentimes retire at the age of 3 or 4, sometimes a little bit longer. We've got horses that are 40 years old at Peaceful Acres.
So they live a long time.
They live a really long time.
Okay,
I call them my $100,000 horses. This is all 3 of the horses once they had gotten back to Peaceful Acres. This was about 5 weeks after they had come in, so their body conditions were already looking a lot better.
So they're not well cared for, is what you're saying?
Oftentimes you'll find that the horses are emaciated. If they're in the kill pens, they're typically not emaciated. They're ill perhaps, but they won't make it into that level to go for meat if they're too thin. So it's a market that 160,000 horses will be slaughtered this year. That's Waz. A couple of days after he had come in, you can see how emaciated he was. He also has roars, which is a breathing disorder.
I've heard of that.
Yep, yep. And there he is, one of the first days that he came in.
Well, how did
Those are the scars from the harnesses that were strapped to him. They're harnesses, leather, and also chains. So every step that he made, he has lymphedema, I think it's called. I'm not good about the medical terms. The lymph system is bad for him, and so he's actually ACO and Goldman Sachs are coming in on Friday to build us a new pasture.
Wonderful.
So we'll be able to move the giants up there, so he can move a lot and get a lot of food.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this. It just seems like if you have an animal that you're using, it seems to me you want them in the best condition, and you want to make sure that they're not being injured, or, I mean,
that's the compassionate person in you, but not everybody's so compassionate, Ann. No.
Oh.
Talk about lack of compassion. This horse, we named him Jack. All the horses, when they come to Peaceful Acres, end up with a new name. We named him Jack. He is over 20 years old.
Those aren't his ribs, are they?
Those are his ribs. He was locked in a 6.5 by 7 foot stall for his life. This is Jasper. Jasper had not had any hoof care for probably 3 or more years.
I could not believe this photo when I saw
This horse is still alive. Believe it or not, he is alive. He is allowing us to take care of him. He has, both Jack and Jasper have chronic lung disease, similar to fibrosis, cystic fibrosis. The urine that was in the stalls, just embedded urine and manure, has burned their the lining of their lungs, and so they're actually on steroids to help to keep them breathing.
Wow.
Jack is actually, Jasper is actually sponsored by one of our donors, New York Long-Term Care Brokers, who helps us a lot with the long-term care of these horses.
Now, if somebody wanted to sponsor a horse, what would they do? They call you? Or
they call us, email, come visit. Our sponsors get involved in the horses' lives. It's a great way to have a horse without having to pay for the horse. People donate, for feed. They donate to give.
It's a nice project for an organization.
Wonderful project for an organization. As I said, ACO and Goldman Sachs are coming in, and they're helping us with a pasture. KeyBank comes in every year and helps us with a project. We have matching funds with GE, KeyBank, Johnson & Johnson, and some others. So it's a great way to get companies involved, and every company that's involved with Peaceful Acres can use our facility. They become a member.
Okay.
We're the only facility with a 30-foot yurt on our property.
Oh, you have a yurt?
We have a yurt.
And you don't even have to go to Mongolia,
You don't have to go to Mongolia, so our business partners and our donors can use that space for their strategic planning, and that's a part of what we're doing to help to raise more money to feed the horses.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Now, you also do therapy, so can you tell us a little bit about that?
I love the therapy programs. For the most part, we work with kids. I've collaborated with some of the largest agencies in the Capital Region, Northeast Parent and Child, Parsons, Ellis Hospital, St. Catherine's, BOCES.
Wonderful groups.
So we work with those kids every week. I typically write grants and provide the funding support so those kids can come. And they come in from residential treatment or from supportive case management, and they work with the horses. They help the horses survive. The kids help to, build behavioral capacities.
An experience that they can't even imagine.
It's amazing because some of these horses, when they come in, will not let us touch them, but they will let the kids touch them. So as the kids are healing and learning boundaries and learning respect for and compassion, as you said, the horses know it. Kids are authentic. Adults become, not so authentic sometimes. Yeah. But the kids and the programs that we provide, it helps them academically, it helps them behaviorally. We notice that in our measures, as we're watching and monitoring the kids from when they start to, say, 10, 12 weeks later after being in our program, sometimes there is a reduction in their medications. There's a reduction in behavioral outbursts, so they may not have to be, restrained, and maybe they have fewer visits to, mental health hospitals. That does help to get them in nature. And I think the biggest piece is that the kids are able to be in nature. Peacefully, there's a lack of nature being given to people at this point. We're in the offices too much, we're in our schools too much, we're surrounded by TV videos and online and Facebook and everything else. And there's something to be said for taking a walk. The kids will go up to the yurt and play the drums, and they got bells, and they'll let out some steam, and then they'll go and visit with the horses, and we do very specific activities with them too to help improve their strengths and their capacities.
Well, one of the things is we're talking about this now, but can people come visit you?
People can come visit. All they have to do is call us or email, schedule an appointment. We are a clinical setting, and so we protect the confidentiality of our horses and also our clients. So we really don't want people to just drop by. Plus, we aren't staffed to do that.
Okay.
So we ask people just give us a call, send us an email, go on our website, which has a lot of information.
I know you have an open house once in a while, too.
We have an open house every month, the first Sunday of every month, although we won't be doing it in July because hopefully people will be in the lakes and all that.
Enjoying it, yeah.
Enjoying their 4th of July.
And the horses will have a rest.
The horses and Nancy will have a rest.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard about Peaceful Acres. I wish we had more time to delve into more of this, but I do want to remind you that you can go visit them, give her a call, find out how you can help the horses, and perhaps even help some children or adults that need some help.
One of the things I'd love to just say is our wellness retreats and what we're doing for veterans and for cancer survivors now, and being able to create Peaceful Acres as a center for wellness. You know, a lot of people think about us as the place the kids go that need help, but what we're doing for cancer survivors and veterans is really a blessing to be able to provide that service.
I really applaud you. You're doing some good work.
Thank you.
We've been talking with Nancy Byral and finding out about Peaceful Acres. We're going to take another quick break, and we're going to see a little bit more of the video that she brought. But we're going to find out about another peaceful area, which is the Albany Pine Bush, right? More?
Great.
Another one.
It's always
Stay
good to
tuned.
be in nature.
Good. Stay tuned. Okay, good.
His build, we think he was used as a workhorse to actually plow fields, to pull logs, to do whatever his owners needed of him, and he had to earn his keep. What you're hearing, that roaring sound, is upper respiratory infection. He was worked hard. He was worked really, really hard. And when he got too old or got too sick and he could no longer be used, he then gets sold at auction. If there isn't anybody there to bail him out, then he goes off to slaughter, and he is sold essentially for about $1 a pound.
Is it difficult to choose only a few horses that you can save?
Yes. Yes. You have to leave some. You can't take them all. It would be irresponsible of us to think that we could. We would end up in a situation where we can't feed them. But there was 6 thoroughbreds that were there, you know, that raced, that did their time, that did what they were bred to do,